Kevin Stefanski talked about what he sees when he looks at the Patriots.
Big challenge this week, going against another 5-4 team, just like us, an AFC opponent, a really good football team. And we got to go on the road and play our best to try and get a win. They're very, very well coached, as you all know. I think just offensively, defensively, special teams, they're very sound. They're very physical. Their offense is a physical group. I think the quarterback is playing at a high level. Doesn't look like a rookie to me. They can play physical brand of football with a bunch of different running backs. They have guys on the perimeter that can make plays, that can make contested catches, some really good tight ends. So presents a big challenge. And defensively, they're very big, long, play a physical brand of football. They can play 5 on the line of scrimmage. They can get into a 4 down front. They can pressure. They play shell. So it's an impressive scheme that can show you multiple looks. And then special teams, which they've always done a great job with. Have great players. They play hard. Really good schemes. So a big week of preparation for us to get ready to go on the road.
And Tim, when I hear Kevin Stefanski describing the Patriots, it sounds like the way teams describe the Browns, only the Browns have a little bit higher talent level, I think. Maybe it's just me, but that's when I hear him talk about that, that's what I hear other teams say about the Browns.
I kind of agree with you. And when I look at the Patriots, the strength to me that stands out about that team is the secondary. I mean, they're number 1 in the NFL in interceptions. I talked earlier about J.C. Jackson. He had 2 against the Panthers. The offense isn't exactly explosive, but they're solid, especially inside the 5-yard line when they can just give the ball off to Damian Harris, and he is just tremendous inside the 5-yard line. I actually looked up his numbers. Basically, every touchdown he's had in the last 5 games has come from inside the 5-yard line. So if they get inside that area, the Browns got to be watching out for Harris. He's a physical running back. He's a guy I kind of got my eye on as a key to this game. But so he mentioned Mac Jones, and I know I'm looking at his numbers right now: 10 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, completing 68% of his passes this season for 2,135 yards. He's been the best, I think, from the beginning to now among the rookie quarterbacks. I know guys like Justin Fields have shown some flashes throughout his rookie season, but Jones has been pretty consistent. He's been solid, to say the least. So the Browns are going to need to kind of try to confuse him a little bit and see if you can turn that front loose and really kind of make things difficult for him, speed him up, because we saw the Saints do that earlier this season. I mean, they forced a couple takeaways from Mac Jones. If you can pressure the young quarterback, give him some different looks, try to confuse him. And more importantly, I think if you get a lead on this team, you're going to be in a good shape.
I would agree. The other thing I would say about Mac Jones, get after him, because you don't have to worry about him beating you with his legs. I mean, he's probably a little bit more athletic than people thought when he was coming out. But if it's a foot race between he and Myles Garrett or he and Jadeveon Clowney, I'm taking Clowney or Garrett every time.
Me too. I mean, the thing I see about Mac Jones that is interesting to me, we know he's not a super athletic guy, but he can make some throws. He's not going to make them all the time. They're not going to ask him to make some throws, but he can make them. He can certainly stress you at times with his arm, so the Browns got to be mindful of that and just kind of watch out, because he's got some ability to do some special things, I think.
How do you think this one goes? What do you think happens in this Browns-Patriots matchup?
Well, I have my bold predictions coming tomorrow morning in the newsletter, and a lot of it, I think, depends on the health of the running backs. If at least Dearness Johnson is able to go, I think the Browns can win. If Chubb's able to go, the Browns certainly can win. The key is going to be minimizing turnovers for the offense. I think the Patriots will at least get one. I look at it just the way Bill Belichick schemes things up, how good that secondary is. They'll scheme a takeaway somewhere in there. I think he's just that good at creating those problems. The key for the Browns is going to be, can they get impact plays when against, a sound team like New England? Can they force some takeaways? Can they get, a big play on offense? Can they catch the Bill Belichick defense off guard? Because we've seen how good he can be against some really good quarterbacks throughout the season. I know he really frustrated Tom Brady when they came to New England back in week 4 of the season. I know the rain helped in Foxborough, but this is going to come down to, again, just can they win the turnover battle? Can they make enough plays? And then can they get enough out of the running game to not have to have Baker Mayfield carry the day against a Bill Belichick defense that is good against the pass, that is good at taking the passes away with the interception, and that can scheme up and really make life miserable for teams who are one-dimensional.